Oh, this is going to be a fun series. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about my most unpopular, out there, and controversial opinions on media. One of these videos a day, Monday through Friday, for 10 videos total. Now, to get the elephant out of the room, I'm not talking about my opinions on specific shows or movies or whatever, or even things within specific shows or movies, like my thoughts on Your Name or Samurai Jack's 5th season or Turning Red or whatever. Like, those opinions I think are worthwhile in making a full-on review. Here we're going to be talking about my more all-encompassing opinions. For example, I think that in the modern day and age, creating like a genre distinction between Western animation and anime is pointless, as both of them have continued to take tropes and themes and styles from each other for decades now, and even the platforms that once only served one felt that they couldn't keep doing that, and now serve up both anime and Western animation. Opinions like that. That's a free 11th for you, by the way. Now, if you disagree with me on any of this, that's kind of the point here. You should be happy to know that I'm in the minority, at least in terms of my own perspective. You know, I might be wrong. Vocal minorities are a thing. From my perspective, though, I'm in the minority when it comes to all these opinions. That being said, what I do state in this series are things that I do genuinely believe. Some of it is a taste thing, but some of it I do think that media would improve if it took these ideas and opinions into account. Before we really get into things, remember, this is supposed to be an easygoing kind of series. I'm not here to be outwardly inflammatory. I'm genuinely curious to hearing other people's opinions, and what they like and don't like about a lot of the current trends in movies, shows, video games, and so on. Maybe tell me what you like about this stuff going forward. We'll be going in the order that I believe will get me less skewered by the internet first. Some of the more weird opinions, let's say, than the things that might outright poke some ribs later on. Starting with, I really hate it that television is moving away from an episodic format. What do I mean by this? Well, for an episodic show, you can watch the episodes in literally any order. Sometimes you need to watch the first episode first and the last episode last, but everything in between can be watched in any order. Especially in non-comedy animation, we seem to be moving away from that. And I will say that animation is my context for this one. While a lot of shows in the 90s and 2000s had things like recurring villains and such, generally you weren't lost if you started with the latest episode. Of course, there were exceptions, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where each of the episodes told one continuing ongoing story. You couldn't miss out on any of the episodes or you'd lose a lot of context. Then in the 2010s, we got a bit of a new format going. Shows like Steven Universe, regular show, Starverses, they started out like that originally, episodes that could be watched in any order, but then they moved to more ongoing stories, where you did have to watch every single episode in order. And more shows followed that format from the outset. Shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy were episodic, but Bojack Horseman told one continuing ongoing narrative. A lot of shows felt the need to try this ongoing serialized thing, like South Park or Friendship is Magic. And streaming really did push us in the ongoing format, especially with hits like Game of Thrones. And we are definitely richer for this kind of format existing. Some stories and plotlines cannot be told in 22 or 44 minutes. There is a place in the world for these kind of shows. However, going all in on this does have a cost. Bojack Horseman, for example. The first 3 episodes of the show are shit. Outright shit. Not terrible Family Guy bad, but average Family Guy clone bad. But you have to sit through the shit to get to the good stuff. Also, there are 6 seasons of Bojack Horseman. There are 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. 6 good ones. And episodes of Game of Thrones can be longer than an hour. And this is in a world where you have more content than ever before. And to get the full context on Game of Thrones, you need to watch all of it. Meanwhile, in an episodic or mostly episodic show like House or Samurai Jack, you have a commitment of less than an hour. Speaking of Game of Thrones, that shows the biggest consequence of abandoning the episodic format. Game of Thrones was hugely popular. A cultural milestone even, but with how bad the 7th and 8th seasons were, the entire series became a joke. And now you are rewarded for getting through those 6 seasons with 2 that show you how much you really wasted your time. Compare that to another show, Malcolm in the Middle. While the characters do change and the status quo does alter, every episode is largely interchangeable in its order. Its final season and its final episode were also derided, but Malcolm in the Middle is still held in fairly high regards, because it wasn't focused on telling this intricate story that it didn't know how to finish. I kinda miss living in a world where I could finally get into the most popular show out there at season 6, and only need 2 episodes to gain context on everything and not 200. I'm not saying that I only want episodic. I think that both styles of these shows have tons of merit. It just seems that nowadays every single show needs an arc of some kind, and there are plenty of things you can only do with the more static formula. Looney Tunes, SpongeBob, Phineas and Ferb, The Simpsons, they're all classics that are remembered as not just good, but some of the best out there that told self-contained stories. It's not just comedies either. Batman the Animated Series, Samurai Jack. Sometimes I just want to be entertained, but I don't have 40 or 50 hours lying around. And sometimes I'd like to jump to episodes that showcase my favorite character or favorite plot type without needing seasons of backstory.